Hey everybody, welcome back to the Slypatch podcast. I'm Digital Chimera, you can call me Spencer.
And I'm the captain. You can call me Tyler. And we're not going to have the warm up right now because this is a special episode. Something different we wanted to do. Um, Spencer and I have been hanging out tonight and been talking a lot about mental health stuff. And we wanted to address that for those in our community. Um, we've realized, like, beyond our own issues, that it's something that is a taboo issue for a lot of people, and it shouldn't be.
Yeah, it needs to be talked about a lot more than it is, and people who deal with issues, large or small, need to, have the support that they need.
Yeah, so just to give you guys a little bit of background of why we're recording this issue, I personally have been dealing with some depression the past few days, and actually messaged Spencer tonight and was like, "Hey man, I'm dealing with some stuff. Do you mind coming over?" And of course, being one of my best friends, being an amazing person, he came over to see me.
Not just that, I picked you up food,
Food,
donuts, cigarettes.
donuts, like yeah.
I'm the hookup.
That's what we do for the people that are dealing with stuff right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Spencer came over to
Donuts always make things better.
donuts do. Donuts are really great. But Spencer came over to help me, deal with some things that I was dealing with personally. Um, I know this seems like a lot of rainbows and sunshine every time you see me on. I always try to present myself as someone who's very happy and happy with life, and I am. Like, there's so many things in my life that I am blessed to have and grateful for. Again, the store, the people in my life. My wife is amazing. My friends are amazing, but that doesn't stop us from having issues that we deal with and being, like I said, like for me personally, like depressed at times. Or one of the biggest issues that I deal with outside of my depression is my anxiety. Um, for those who don't know me really well, again, my partner Andy, um, my wife Spencer, they know. I deal with anxiety on a daily basis. I have panic attacks on a daily basis. For most of you guys that see me at F&M, you never know it because I put that mask on because I don't want you guys to deal with it. But 9 times out of 10, when I'm at Friday Night Magic, I'm having a panic attack and I'm dealing with it. I'm dealing with it internally and trying to, like, not project that on anybody else. But um, it's something that we wanted to talk about together and have people understand that it's okay to talk about it, first of all,
Yeah.
um, and that it's not a bad thing for those things to happen.
In fact, I think it's very natural for those things to happen. I don't know exactly why our brains work like this or they do the way they do, but a lot of people go through that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't have panic attacks as often, but I deal with a lot of anxiety myself. At least I did before.
Mm-hmm.
Finding a pretty good solution to that. Haven't dealt with a ton of anxiety since then, which feels really good. But not everyone has that option or that luxury, and
Or the outlet, or
or
things
or
like that.
or an outlet or whatever. And
Yeah,
even then, even with medication for me, I still deal with it to some extent. It's just you know I have a new standard now, right? I have a new status quo, which feels really good. But even then, I still deal with it to some extent, and you deal with it a lot more than I do,
yeah.
and but
And so, like, I'll just be honest, and stuff we're talking about. Like, for those who know me and they've seen me, like, I drink. I usually almost always have a bottle of rum with me. Literally, the reason I have it is because it helps me deal with what I'm dealing with. To be honest, for those who know me, and again, Andy knows this. I've told him. I've told my wife. Spencer knows this. I hate drinking. If I could choose tomorrow to never take a drink again, I would. Um, unfortunately, in the position that I'm in, and because I've been drinking for so long, I eventually will have to check myself into somewhere to not go through DTs and stuff like that, which could kill me. Um, but I'm not. I'm just not in that position to do that right now because I'm trying to run Slypatch. I'm trying to do different things. So I self medicate through drinking, and it's not something I'm proud of at all. It just it's a reality for me currently. um, but we're working on it. We're getting there. Um, Luckily, I have a wonderful support system around me for those who want to help me out, and so therefore, if in the next couple of months, if those of you that view this and go to Slypatch happen to see me not there for a week or so, you know what? Just send me good vibes, send me a prayer, whatever. Just know that at that point, that's because I'm hopefully in a position where I'm trying to get away from it. But yeah, this episode is a special episode because we want to address mental health. We want to address the fact that we all go through things and we deal with things that sometimes, again, society leads you to believe that you're weak for talking about it, or you shouldn't talk about it or whatever,
or that it's not normal.
Or that's not normal, and and that shouldn't be it. Like we want to make it a norm. Like it should be normal to talk about the things you're dealing with.
Yeah, 100%. And it should be normal and natural, and it shouldn't feel like you are stepping outside of a comfort zone to seek help.
Well, and it's okay to even feel like you're stepping out of a comfort zone because again, how society views things.
But it shouldn't have to be that way. Is what I mean.
No, it definitely should not have to be that way. But we want you to understand that it's okay to step outside that comfort zone. We want you to understand that there are people out there, myself, Spencer, Andy, a lot of people in the community, for example, that are here for you, and that you're okay to step outside of that comfort zone and talk to us because we want you to feel okay. We want you to feel like you have us, and that's one of the biggest things that we've talked about in the podcast. We've talked about at Slypatch. Like, Slypatch is all about being a safe place for people, and it includes what we're talking about right now.
Yeah, even as someone who doesn't necessarily work with Slypatch, the community and the people in it are very, very important to me, and I know they're super important to Tyler, super important to Andy, super important to the store. And if there's anything that you're going through, I want you to feel safe being able to find someone to talk to. And if that means, like, if you don't have anyone closer to you to talk to, and you feel comfortable with one of us,
or even if you don't feel comfortable because you aren't sure, this is what this podcast is about, to let you know, like, we're here for you.
We are a resource.
I mean, I have a psychology background. I was a therapist, and opioid addiction was what I specialized in. So I helped people who had drug addictions, but at the same time, I was a therapist, and my background is in psychology. You can always come to me.
Yeah, I have a background too. I've been depressed for 10 years.
I mean, we all definitely have the backgrounds,
Yeah.
But the point is, the point we want you to understand is, there's not really an issue you can come to us with that we're gonna be like, like it's gonna, we want you to understand you can come to us and talk to us about whatever's going on with you, because we want you to feel safe. We want you to feel like you have an outlet, because some people don't. Like, I'm blessed. Again, we're making this episode tonight, and we're talking about it because Spencer came over we've cried our tears tonight. We've gone through, uh, what we've talked about tonight, um, and he's helped me with the things I'm dealing with. But just because I'm dealing with those things doesn't mean I can't also help someone with certain things, and and just because you're dealing with certain things doesn't mean that there's not someone out there to help you. And yeah, we would love to be able to help us help you ourselves, but understand that like I said, I'm blessed because I have Spencer, I have Andy, I have my wife, I have my best friend Nick. Consecutive every episode, right?
Talking about streaks, right?
Talking about the streaks, right? But like I'm blessed that I have so many people in my life that I can turn to. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're one of those people out there who feels like you don't have anyone to turn to. It's not true. We're here for you.
Yeah.
Myself, Spencer,
I've made
Andy.
it.
We're all here for you guys.
Yeah. I mean, I've made it a personal goal in my life to do my best to make sure that anyone who crosses my path leaves that path better than before. I mean, that is the ultimate pride.
Damn, you got a long way to go with me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
You're kind of fucked up.
No, I'm kidding.
But that's something very important to me because it's part of my personal journey. I truly believe that if there's one thing all people deserve, it's respect and love.
Yeah, and we all deserve happiness. Like that's the other thing too. Is like
that's in my opinion, that's the point of life.
And that's one of the hardest things for all of us to accomplish and achieve is true happiness. And maybe even talking to one of us and helping you through whatever you're going through may not it's not going to necessarily achieve true happiness, but we want to get you on that road. We want to get you on that journey to get there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna, talking to one of us isn't, gonna change your life overnight. But if there's something that one of us can do to, help put you on the right path or get you in the right headspace to do what is best for you, whether it's seek professional help or find a way out of a family situation or, whatever that is. If you just need a little bit of guidance, that's what
we just want to help with that,
or just someone to listen to. Like sometimes you just need someone to listen to.
And that's the biggest thing is sometimes what you're dealing with, you just need to vent about it. You need to get it off your chest. You need to let somebody else in the world know. Maybe you just need someone who can relate, and maybe we can't even relate completely to whatever it is you're going through, but by getting that off your chest, by letting it out there, putting it out in the world, it's not up here anymore. It's not just up here. It's not rattling around and battling yourself and doing the things that we all do. Instead, it's all right. I got it out there. It's out in the world. Now
it's a problem that I can face.
Exactly. Now maybe I can combat it because of the fact that I have more information, or even if you don't have more information, just again, it's not just up here anymore. Because once it's up here, sometimes it feels so hard to fight because you're like, I can't figure out the answers because it's fighting you for the thought space to find those answers, right? But now, all right, I've talked to Spencer about it. I've gotten it out. He understands what I'm going through. Or he's at least listened to me. Now that I've gotten it out, my brain is able to go, oh, wait, this is the way I could fight that,
Mm-hmm.
Whereas my brain wasn't able to do that before because it was so, just fogged up
mm-hmm.
with that information. And so...
And even if you aren't comfortable talking to someone about it and that's not something you want to do, there are other strategies to do exactly what Tyler's talking about. Maybe I know for some people it's writing it down in a notebook, keeping a journal, keeping a diary, some people call it. Some people write poetry, some people write music lyrics, some people just say it into the mirror to themselves. Pretend that they are their own
You're not wrong.
place to, speak those things.
But even speaking to the written thing, right? Like maybe you don't have the courage or the capacity or the ability to speak to one of us about what's going on. Write it down. Write it down. Bring it to us. Let us read it.
Mm-hmm.
Let us read it, and maybe we can help you. Or maybe you just say, hey, look, I don't need you to say anything. I don't need you to tell me or give me any answers. I just needed to get this out, but the only way I could get it out was this way. And you hand me something that has that written on it, and I read it, and I just look at you, and I say, I understand, or, I give you a hug, or, I nod my head. Like, it could be the simplest thing as nodding my head to be like, I understand, right? That's it. Like, there's no one way that works for everybody. There's no one thing that's going to be the answer for everybody. And we don't want that. We just want you to understand that you have that outlet. Mm-hmm. And there's a way to help fix it.
And not to mention also, if, again, if talking isn't an option for you, whether it's out of your comfort zone, out of your capabilities, feel free to text us. Send us an email. Like, I don't know if my email's out there necessarily, but I'm sure you can find me on Facebook easy enough. It's Spencer Engel, and feel free to shoot me a message if you ever need anything.
We'll also, we can put email links in the comments of this one. So, we have the Slypatch Gaming one, which is, my business one, but I also have my own personal, which is, Pwning Before You, at gmail.com. We'll put that, I'll put my personal one in the links. Spencer can do the same as well. Also, we can even just make one for this. Like, we can make, a personal one that me and you will both have access to. I don't care. Mm-hmm. We can do that. Like, the point is that we want to help you. If you just put in the comments that, I need your help, or you can just say something simply as hey in the comments. That'll let us know. And we'll reach out to you because, through YouTube, fortunately, we can message people back that have, had comments and stuff. As long as you create a profile and stuff, we can message you back, and then we can find ways to contact each other, mm-hmm. help each other out. But again, the reason why we're making this particular podcast that's completely off of what we normally do is it's something that touches both of us, something that we both understand is a very big issue, in the community in general, just in life in general, but especially in our community. In our community, I know for a fact that not just myself, but so many others are dealing with things that are mental issues. The other thing that we will help you do, and Spencer has even helped me, for example, with my wife. We've been looking for someone with my wife, to help diagnose her with like her adult ADHD and stuff. And Spencer has resources of, different doctors and things like that within certain networks. Maybe we don't know the right answer right away, but if you message us and let's say you're like, hey, I've had these issues I've been dealing with. I've been looking for some professional help. Maybe we don't have the answer right away, but I will definitely, or we will definitely spend the time to help you find that.
Yeah, one thing that I learned is it's not, not only do I not want to just, I don't want to just, if you're looking for professional help, I don't want to just send you a direction. I want to teach you how to find that information, because it's actually not that hard. Mm-hmm. A great friend of mine, I'm not going to say their name, but they've been looking for professional help, and they had Badger Care, and they didn't know any mental health professionals that took Badger Care. So what I did is I actually went to one of the government sites related to Badger Care, and I was able to look at professionals through the system that dealt with therapy.
Yeah.
And that's how I found information for them. And so, as soon as they're ready to take that next step, they know where they can go in our area to do that. And so if that's something you have, or if it's a particular kind of insurance, or if you don't have insurance, like there's um, ways to find professionals in the area, and I want to teach you how to do that if you don't know how, because
Absolutely.
it's not that hard. But even if it's not hard, you might need help because
Yeah, and so when he says it's not that hard too, it's not that hard, for someone who knows how to do it necessarily, but maybe that we're not trying to discredit you and understand. Like
yes,
when we say it's not that hard, the hardest thing to do, period, is to admit that you need help.
oh,
The hardest thing to do is to understand that help is out there and you can get it, but being behind that wall of being like,
it can be overwhelming.
exactly. And
It's
yeah. And so when we say it's easy, when we say it's not that hard or whatever,
it doesn't mean it's not overwhelming, and that can't be a barrier in your way.
exactly.
The process is physically easy, but it's might still take
Yeah.
some effort, take some courage.
Yeah. The hard part again is having the courage, having the ability within yourself to admit to yourself that you needed the help. And that's like, for example, that's the hardest part for me. Like me and Spencer talked about tonight. Um, I'm a face in the community. I'm someone who a lot of people look up to, and a lot of people think, are this really strong person, and one of these people that everyone thinks just deals with everything. And a lot of people don't understand that I'm still a human being. I still have my things that I deal with, and um, like I'll tell you guys, like I told Spencer, it wasn't that long ago. I won't say when, but I'll just say it wasn't that long ago. I thought about taking my own life because I thought maybe the world would be better off without me. I was quickly informed by those who care about me that I was wrong. I was quickly informed by those that love me that I shouldn't think that way, and I'm appreciative for that. But that still doesn't change the fact that it went through my head. It still doesn't change the fact that I felt that way at a certain point, and I'm just lucky enough. I'm blessed by having the people in my life that I didn't go down that road. But maybe you're on that road. Maybe that's a thought that's going through your head. And if it is, we want you to know that we're here for you and we want to help. And, we want to help you realize, just like the people around me help me realize, that's not the way to go.
Yeah. And, something else I want to point out is like, if, you're concerned about, how are two fuckheads in a basement who have their own issues gonna help me? Well, something that I always like to point out is, got him with that one. Something I always like to point out is that, mental health is not straightforward. And sometimes the people that have their own problems are the best to relate to, but also a lot of how this works is, as a community, the tighter, the more close-knit we get, the stronger we all are. The way I like to think about it is kind of like basket weaving.
Right?
Because, like each of those little strands, they might not be much on their own. But,
Once you put them together,
when you put them and interlace them in that way, they all support each other.
I mean, look at rope. Okay, like it fits the same category, right? You take a strand of rope. If you look at a strand of rope, it's literally thousands of strands together to create that piece of rope.
And sometimes even thousands of strands to create one thick strand, which is then wound around two other thick strands.
Exactly. Yeah. So like, your individual strand, yeah, it can easily be broken. But, myself, Spencer, other people in the community, we're those strands you can wrap yourself around to become that stronger
And for
rope.
me
So
and Tyler, like, we need to wrap around each other in that way. We need to support each other, but
I mean,
we're each individually infinitely stronger than we are on our own because of that. And we
yeah,
want everyone in the community, whether it doesn't have to be through us, but whoever you find comfort in, going to for your problems, we just want you to be, like I say every episode, we want you to stay happy, healthy, and safe, and that includes up here.
absolutely. Like this is we love talking about the nerdy side of things, and gaming and all these other things that we talk about. But the biggest reason why we started this podcast was for something very similar to this, which is, just supporting the community and letting people know again that they have a safe space. Again, we talk about a lot of it from the gaming perspective or the nerdy perspective or whatever, from all the things we talk about. But this is also a big issue in our community, and that's why we decided to do this special episode right now, was to let you guys know that sometimes you just have bad days. Today was one of those for me. Like, Spencer's here right now, and we're recording this episode because Spencer came over to help me with an issue I was having. Like I said, we've already cried it out. We've already dealt with, what we're dealing with, or at least me. But we're here for all of you guys, and we want y'all to know that, again, even though you see us like as faces in the community, we both deal with our own shit. We do.
It's true.
We're just very lucky and very blessed, to have those people in our lives to help us. But some of you might not, and that's why we want to make this episode, because some of you might not, and
we want you to know that.
We want you to know that you do. Like,
yeah.
Or you might. I guess that's the best way to say it. Some of you might not think you do. Some of you might not feel like you have those people in your life, but you do. You have us. And that's something that Slypatch Gaming completely represents. Is, yeah, we're a gaming community. We're a game store, but we overall are a community that is here to help.
Yeah. And I want to reiterate, I don't know everyone that's been to Slypatch, and I don't know everyone in the community. Tyler knows a lot more people than I do, and he's only been here, 4 years. But I will say, it doesn't matter to me if I've never met you. I won't say their name again. This is a different person this time, but, Tyler stayed late at F&M one time to, talk with a friend of his about stuff that they were dealing with, and I was there, and, I'd never met this person, but I could tell that they were going through some stuff, and I stayed along until 4 a.m. to help them and, get them through whatever they needed to get through.
Yeah, we stayed one Friday night till 4 a.m. That was not the first time I've stayed with this person. Not trying to call them out or anything or say anything bad, but that's just to speak to, how people need help, right? Yeah, we stayed till, you and I stayed till, you stayed till 4 a.m. I was there for about an hour after that, just talking with them. But, like, I've been there with that person multiple times until about that time to help them. But that's okay, because that's what we want to do.
Yep.
We want to help people, and we want to be there for people, and
we want to make a positive impact.
I don't regret a single second of it. Like, if you ask me, like, I don't regret a single second of it, because, there's an old saying, like, I'd rather take time to listen to your issues than the time it takes for me to read your obituary.
It's true.
And that's a very strong way to put it, but it's the truth. I don't want to read anybody's obituary that I know, that I love. I would rather you call me up. I don't care what time it is. Call me up, message me on Facebook, send a damn smoke signal. I don't know what the fuck you gotta do, but I don't care. Like, whatever you gotta do to get my attention, do it. I'd rather be here for you.
We would. Both of us would.
We both would, you know, and it's not just us. Like, you know, we are the face of this podcast. But again, Andy, Josiah, like, dude, I can't even speak to the fact of how Josiah's been there for me.
Yeah.
And Andy, both. Like, Andy's my business partner for a great reason, but we've known each other for a long time, and part of it has been that we've gone through a bunch of shit together. Josiah is the same way. The reason why Josiah is one of my employees is because of how close we are as friends, and how he's also been there for me. He's been there for my wife, Chrissy, you know, which they also work together at a second job. But, you know, the point is like, we're all there for you. You know, we all want to make sure you're okay. And I'm sure there's some of these people that will also see this, and I hope. I mean, I may be wrong, but I hope someone proves me right here. I'd love for someone to put in the comments, hey, I'm here for you too. You know, and just, you know, say that as well.
Yeah, if you are at all comfortable with being there for others, whether you know them or not, or, you know, some people have conditions. I don't think you and I do.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you want to be part of that positive impact, you know, go ahead and share that, because
yeah, let people know, because that's the thing is, like, I mean, the smallest of your effort there could save a life. Like, and what's that worth? It's worth so much. Like, you can't quantify what that's worth to save a life. That's why, again, I'm so thankful for Spencer and other people in my life, because again, you know, as most, like I said, most of you see me as a very strong person. Most of you see me, you know, as the backbone of certain things in the community, stuff like that. But I have my weak points too, and the reason why we're here tonight, you know, me and him are here tonight together and talking, is because I was questioning whether it was worth it, and luckily I had someone come over and tell me, motherfucker, you're stupid. Like, you know, whatever. Like, I'm
shut your goddamn mouth.
I'm making light of it, but
Yeah.
you know, Spencer came over and let me understand, you know, that it is worth it for me, and I'm so thankful to have that I want to pass that opportunity on. That's why we're having this episode, is we want people to understand that you know, we're here for you too, and we want you to be around for a long time. Be a part of the Slypatch community. You know, come out, do the things that you do. But again, this is a special episode, so there's no mains, there's no
warm up, no.
There's no warm up, there's no campaign. It's
only
all
meat and potatoes.
It's all meat and potatoes right now. You know, we love you guys.
Yeah, as always, we want you guys to stay happy, healthy, and safe.
100%. And yeah, we, like I said, we love you guys. Please feel free to reach out. Please, if there's anybody in the, you know, that in the community that needs, you know, put a comment or look up Slypatch Gaming. You can message us there. You can look up me personally. Again, Tyler. My last name is Bean. It's spelled Beene. You can find that. Message me personally. Spencer. Last name Engel. You can message Spencer. Whatever you need to do. But
as long as it's right for you.
Yep. Just don't feel like you're alone. We love you.
We love you. See you in the next one.